right, we're here again with mobile reasoning right here on Good News Jamaica. And as you know, we're always finding interesting characters, interesting people to celebrate and highlight. And right in front of your camera is one such man. You've seen him here on this channel many times before. He is Cornell Bunting, and he has an extraordinary story to tell us.
Yes.
And today we're going to focus on his non-profit organization called EHAS.
Yes.
Cornell, welcome to Mobile Reasoning, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
All right.
Boy.
So we're here in Craigtown,
Yes.
enjoying the wonderful breeze and so on and so forth.
What a nice.
Why are you here in Jamaica?
Yeah, so right now we here. When I say we, because I do have officers that are part of the organization here that's helping me with what I'm doing. This organization, E.H.A.S, which stands for Everyone Have a Story, we help to create self-reliance and a growth mindset to disadvantaged youths. And we look at a lot of these youths here and see the different disadvantage that these youths are in, what that look like, where they're at, how them circumstances look. And so we've had an opportunity to work with a few different homes. These homes meaning boys' homes, girls' homes, what that look like. We have a few ranging in various parts of Jamaica. And so, one specifically, and I won't dive into the names unless
That's fine.
you guys want me to. We have one that's out in Old Harbour called Sunbeam Boys Home that really grab our attention first because their situation with the boys, how they were living out there. They didn't really have a working washer and dryer. They had flood out there. The chickens went under stress. Them, a lot of them died and, flood changed up them settings. So they weren't really able to really fetch for themselves. And, we're about not necessarily coming, giving a youth a fish and then just left them. We want to come, teach them how to fish, have them fetch for themselves. So we don't have to keep coming because there's a lot of youths here that is at a disadvantage that need resources and help. So, when we can help 40 kids here and then set it in a way where they can now take what they've learned and use that to allow them to be more resourceful with what they have there and, meeting the different needs of all the different youths that are in the home or girls that are in the home. So with E.H.A.S, we bring a lot of information that help the mindset to develop in a way that show these different individuals you are the superhero in a story. You can add value to your community, your society, your country, whatever that look like, So it's really about you understanding what it look like in this adversity that you're in, finding your purpose, walking into that purpose. That will allow you to show other individuals, say, yes, I can too add value to society and make people see that, I'm not just someone that above with the norm, what that look like. We're here to create something, and if it wasn't for us, this very thing that we create wouldn't come into existence. So that's what E.H.A.S is about and what we're trying to do with all these kids here in Jamaica.
So you live in New York, right?
Well, you can say that. Florida too,
Okay.
Move on.
So why Jamaica?
Why not Jamaica? Because one, I was born here. Jamaica don't really get help like that from the government. Well, in America, there's still people in situations there. But at least there's systems that are set up for people there to go and get help. There's not a lot of systems set up here. And even if there's systems set up, if you was to check what the salaries are here, minimum wage and all them things, that it's terrible. So a lot of people that would love to help it's like them have to consider if they want to help, because then maybe them a take from what them no really have
Okay.
to give. And so for us, we see like, we can bring some resources here, and, we're making the necessary moves that will allow us to function here as a charitable non-profit organization.
All right. So when you are involved with these schools and these homes,
Yes.
and I take it you're giving like uniforms and books and lessons and stuff.
Yes,
All
yes,
right. So
yes.
that's a lot of people come and they do evangelic work where they come in, they drop a thing, and then they roll out.
Right.
But it seems like EHAS is doing more pastoral work.
Yes, man. Yes.
The pastor stays around, the pastor
Yes.
come and check, and
Yes.
so you're really married to these different organizations
Yes.
that you're doing programs in.
Yes, we want to really, we're not, like I said, we come to teach how to fish. And once we see you get it, where you start walking now, we're alright. We say, okay, now we can just look forward to the different testimonies that will come from that location. Now we have other locations that we need to do the same thing to. So we've created online courses that will help them to think critical, understand what financial stability look like, or understanding financial literacy. What does assertiveness look like? Self-confidence. How to use adversity to find purpose. Communication strategies. These are all different courses that we felt is necessary to help these young men, young women understand the importance of who they are. Because you can't really apply yourself properly in society unless you have developed the mind where you fully understand what this is about, what that is about. How do I do this? How do I move from point here to point there?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So are you creating partnerships with other organizations to help you put on these projects?
Yes, so we have Grace Kennedy. Grace Kennedy is actually one of our first partner that came in and really like what we're doing and decided, what, we'll lend a hand with the bigger equipment that is needed for the home to help them function properly. We have nationwide as well. We have Good News Jamaica. So we have a few different individuals as well. Dr. Trevor Monroe, so we have individuals, and also coming on board is the ministers themselves of the country here and what that could look like. We're still in process with what those partnerships will look like, and we're looking forward to that as well.
When you are putting together a project, what is it that you're expecting out of a project? What impact are you expecting?
So it's really the impact, of the youth really understanding the value they hold. Because we're in a space right now with a lot of these youths don't necessarily think they have any value. They don't think they are capable of adding value to society or coming out to something great that society would look at and say, yes, that individual is doing great things. We have very few individuals that have come out of Jamaica and have been making a mark on a world stage, and it's really mostly athletes, and performers, whether they're called DJs or singers. They kind of lead the pack. I mean, we have innovators, but a lot of them, because they go to other countries, it's almost like those countries kind of take them under their wing and adapt them. So it's only when we have an interview with a lot of those individuals, people find out, oh, they're actually from Jamaica. So, for us, is really helping a lot of these youths understand, you can mount out to something. You can leave out of the situation that you're in, despite all the different things that's staring in your face, making it look like it is impossible. It's not impossible. It is very possible. So we want to make sure, say, if we work with 40 kids and we get 5 of those kids out of the 40 kids fully understand the value they hold, for us, that is a win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you think of any uh, triumphant, tangible results you've seen from your projects? People who have turned around, um, environments that have gotten better, people who have come back saying, you know, Mr. Bunting, you know, thank you for this. Have you seen any of those?
So not in Jamaica yet. I mean, we've had some prospects that have now moved into the next phase of their life where they're now identifying responsibilities and what that look like, and they're reaching out, they're saying, you know, I'm really thankful for you coming, speaking to us, staying, and you know, when we reach out to you, you're there to encourage us. So we have a few young men. We even have a young man from the very same Sunbeam that every now and then he texts me, you know, just to check in, say, you know, I'm doing this and you know, getting this done. We have a young lady that's going to college. But for us, the same program that we're using here, we have used it in England, and we've gotten a lot of results from that. You know, we used to work with a lot of the guys in the gangs that are doing a lot of the stabbings, and we got 16 out of 30, 38 of them. And those young men now are, you know, bankers in construction, contractors, on Wall Street. A lot of them are doing major things right now. So we've seen those results where they have changed who they are and have helped to change the community. Because once you have a group of kids, youths, whatever that look like, in a gang where they're doing a lot of negative things, once you get to one or two of those individuals that identify their purpose and now start walking in that purpose, and it's looking good, it's very encouraging to the others.
Yeah.
That put them in a mindset that, you know what, I need to leave this alone because this is not taking me anywhere. You know, and so we have a few of those wins. We have some wins like that in America as well, where we have a few young men that are now pursuing their dream, you know, of whether that's sports that they're in or the work environment that they want to put themselves in. And we want people to understand it's better when you're in an environment that you're happy. You're comfortable with who you are. You're happy with the people that's around you because you will perform better. You will bring out results. And then your boss don't have to worry and you know, making decisions that will complicate things or bring situations that they don't want on them.
Right. Now, you have had a very colorful life
Yes.
where you have ended up on the wrong side of the law, even though if it was falsely accused or whatever, but you've ended up on the wrong side of the law. You've
Yes.
struggled.
Yes.
You come from struggle.
Yes.
And you've become a very successful entrepreneur.
Yes. Yes.
Where does your heart lie as far as training these youths to become you?
So, and you know, that stemmed from when I was in jail for 10 months, facing 32 years to life in prison, because I seen a lot of these young men, and it's like a revolving door, because all these young men, they leave for a little bit, they commit a new crime, and they come back. And for me, that was hurting, because I see I went into a headspace where I live in a world where a lot of these young men, these young men, didn't have a developed mindset. And it was sad. It didn't look like a world I want to live in. So for me now, it's like I get into this headspace like, what if we live in a world where more individuals are more evolved? They're more advanced with how they think, they know to think critical, they can see impossible and see the possible from the impossible and thus resolve it without making certain decisions that's going to compromise them. And so for me, you know, it just came on me that I had to help. And how do I help? You know, what does the solutions look like? How do I bring information to feed the mind, to help develop the mind? So for me, that's where I'm at. Just seeing a lot of this, I want to bring a change to it.
Now, so we talked about your struggle, but a person doesn't change into who you are
Right,
just because they've been through struggle.
right.
Tell me about your background, parents, family, siblings, where you grew up, neighborhood, these type of things. What made you? Where's your foundation?
Yeah, man. So for me, my dad is from Portland, St. Mary side. My mom is St. Andrew up in the hills, a Stone Hill, Brandon Hill up that side. So growing up, I grew up in Islington in Albany, where my dad and my mom was, and I had this mindset when I was growing up with a little hustle because my dad was fortunate. He was a superintendent. He was a cop, retired from that, became superintendent for super clubs. But before he had became superintendent for super clubs, he was going to America and like farm work. So he would bring back the TV, we had the cable, so we were able to record movies, all these things, and I said, why not rent them to the people? And then we had found out we had neighbors that didn't have TVs, found out we had a TV, and they literally punched a hole in our house and was looking through that hole to watch our TV. And when I saw that, I said, we should build a little shed, and have them come sit down in the shed, watch TV. Give me 5 cents, because at a far back, a way back time. And 5 cents, 5 cents is good. So I would have them pay me 5 cents, they come in and them watch them TV in the evening. And so from there, we at the school we were going, which was Water Valley, me and my brothers were the only kids that had bicycle. So because of how disciplined we grew up, we only got a chance to ride bicycle 1 day a week, which was Friday. The rest of the day, if we miss our dad heading to work, if we miss him leaving out, we have to walk. And I think that was about 4 to 5 miles every morning, Monday to Thursday. Every morning, you have to walk back. The beautiful thing about that was we had a lot of other kids that was in that type of situation. So we had company to walk. So that was kind of what that looked like, and that how the hustler mindset came in. Because when I tell you, I had a hustler mindset. Like my bicycle, when I go to school on Friday, because you get 20 cents for your lunch money, every kid had to give me 20 cents. So I said, listen, I want your kids to understand. You're going to miss a lunch day. I don't know which day it's going to be. But you're going to miss a lunch day if you want to get a ride off of the BMX bicycle. And they didn't have a problem with that. And then sometime when we get a chance to have more Nutribun and milk, we save up some of them for them kids that we know say, I can spend money with up on Friday. So for me, I had one of my uncles that was going to the primary school as well, because I had some young uncles as well. And he was tall, very tall, big. So I would put him at a point, I would tell the kids, you ride up the hill, you come back, 20 cents done. That's a 20 cents done. So that was the bicycle game. Then I had the rubber band, where you played bounce on the wall. Man, I had rubber bands for days. Marbles, rings, everybody put in them ring. I was so crafty that I had this style of spinning through in my marble that I was always the closest to the ring. And if me get close to the ring before you're not getting none of my marble out of the ring. Because me look out everything.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. So that was my growing up. And then, the parents divorce, all these things. We had some challenges. We went from 100 to 0. And that's when life got rough. I remember when we didn't have any food, we would run on the road and we'd find mango peel on the road. And we would scrape off a stone off and we eat the mango peel. That's how rough it was. But, we learn how to be humble with a lot of things. And, because we had it and then we didn't have it. And so a lot of that kind of taught me in a big way. And I think even now with a lot of people saying, we see all these things. For me, it haven't sink in yet. But I think it's just the upbringing that kind of put me in that space there. If we just kind of keep absorbing what's happening and just know that I'm here for a greater cause, helping more individuals to identify themselves. And so that was kind of what that looked like,
So the experience you've had that set your foundation
Yeah.
led you to understand survival.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Then you got into some trouble, went to jail,
Yeah.
10 months, still have to deal with survival.
Yes.
Come out, decide you're going to write books
Yes. Well, I started writing the books in jail. So I
in jail.
wrote 4 in jail. And when I got out, I decided I'm not going to fight with the system. I'm going to try to see how I can get a book published. But the challenge was, you know, when you have all those charges hanging on your name, 16 felony charges, not a lot of people want to give you a chance. And for me, that was my challenge, you know, because no one wanted to open the door. I couldn't get a job. And finally, Applebee's took a chance with me and said, we like how you present yourself. We want it to be one of our servers. It was the first time I'm serving. And I did very well because I needed a job, because when I got out of jail, the kid's mom had put me on child support. So I owed a lot of money to child support. And so, because this was a tip-based job, I made a lot of tips and I was able to pay off my child support. And then, you know, time came because they dragged this out for about 3 years. So it was very rough. And in that time, there was all these stories that I had in my head I just had to put on paper. So put them on paper and I said, you know, I wanna kind of get into like a pattern, a routine where I want to capture at least 100 to 200,000 people. That anytime my work come out, they go get my work. And so that didn't really happen, you know, the 100,000. But you know, you have to think big, yeah. So maybe I have a couple hundred or a couple thousands that, you know, went out and show me some love with some of the books, because I had 3 of them that made it to #1, you know, and it allowed me to travel into a lot of different parts of the world, you know, whether it was just going to speak or going to sign books, having conversation with different youths or individuals that you would say going through adversity. So for me, it was rough, but we worked through the rough there, because one of the things I know, you know, you can never really grow without going through challenges.
That's right.
Because that's how you evolve into your better self. You know?
So, Cornell, you're really passing on. You're paying it forward.
Yes.
All the opportunities that you have received over the years, you're paying it forward to the younger generation.
Yes.
Through EHAS.
Yes.
I'm assuming that you named your company EHAS because of your story.
Yes.
And you recognizing that everyone really does have a story.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so. And for me, so, you know, it's crazy because there's a story behind that. I remember these 2 young men that was in jail with us. They were facing, I think it was about 10 years. They had went and robbed a pharmacy, but the way they robbed the pharmacy, you want to say these guys were so, you know, you want to put the S word on it, the stupid and all these things. But these guys went in the drive-thru, wrote a note on a paper in the drive-thru to give to the person at the window saying, we have a gun, this is a robbery, we need all these different drugs. And sit down in the drive-thru and wait for the drugs. And then when the cops came and got them, they were upset with the people at the window. Because them said, we didn't even come in and come, you know. And I'm like, man, look at the mindset of these guys. But then I'm realizing all these different guys that are in here, they all have a story. They all have a story on what that looked like and what got them here. Why they compromise themselves. And what is the possibility of them not getting certain parts of their past addressed? Because you see, when you have things where you see sore, you can't cover up sore, you know, you have to dress it and make it get healed. And you know, a lot of us sometimes we have situations, it's like in the house. The house dirty, you sweep the dirt under the rug and you cover up the rug because somebody will come, you know, and sweep you out, whatever. the dirt still there and the rug is still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going away, so you still have to get rid of it. So I think with a lot of that, it was like, okay, what is these different stories look like? And I'm like, I can't put an organization out and not name it something here. Everyone has a story. And so with that, I say, okay, let's not do this long, drawn out sentence. Let's just go with each letter of the words. And we call it E.H.A.S. EHAS.
Wonderful. I love that. I
Yes,
love
sir.
that. All right. So in Jamaica, you're connected to boys' homes and other organizations where you do these programs periodically through the year.
Yes, yes.
Um, what to you has been your most rewarding project here in Jamaica?
I would say is a lot of what I've done with Sunbeam Boys Home, what I've done with Manning's Boys Home. Just seeing the joy of these kids when they got resources that they needed to be able to continue living in a way that, because you have society that, maybe they get bullied and all these things, but then they get things that put them in a space so that they don't get bullied. So for me, that's a joy. That's a joy that come when I can see. And, when I go to the homes and the boys remember my name.
Mm.
Mr. Cornell Bunting, and they call my name and hear and they remember stuff from when I was there prior. And they see that I don't just come one time, left them, that's it. These dudes are so excited. Like today, we're in a Sunbeam, we brought them bags for back to school, along with supplies for the bags. And what happened was when I was there prior, I had left them one of my books, Nostril Adventure, and I gave them a challenge that anyone that could finish the book, tell me the story. When I come back, I would reward them with some cash. Sadly, a lot of them misplaced them book. It's them kids. But there was this one young man, I tell you, he had to make sure say bring him book with him because they all were in a room with me because we had to we advise them every time. We talk to them, we check in on how their months been, whatever we have missed out, we try to catch up on that. And so he just wanted to remind me, when you were here the last time, this is, and I say yes, man, and I reward him. And all the other kids saw that, and I know that now they're gonna make some effort so them can get reward the next time I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
So those bring joy to me.
I love that. I
Yeah,
love
man.
that. Do you have children?
Yes, man. 4 boys.
4 boys.
4 boys.
Man, you get lucky, man.
Eh? I
You get
I wanted a girl, but it's the young lady that I'm with. She has a daughter.
Okay.
So
Well,
you can't say 5.
well, that's good. Excellent. Wonderful. All right. So these, are they involved in EHAS at all?
Yes, man. My boys sometimes they go to some of the events I do back in America. My boys they carry my books for me and stuff like that. They go and they help set up. And they engage with the other kids as well, and just to show that they see what dad is doing, they understand what dad is doing, and they're loving what they're doing in school. They're both playing football. My older son is in the army as an engineer, and he's now based in Germany. And even him encourage his friends that he work with in the army to go and take the courses, go and evolve, go and learn what critical thinking is about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you so much for letting us know about all the projects and all the things that you're going on with. I know that the viewers of this, if they are in Jamaica, they can get your latest book at Cozy Corner.
Yes, Cozy Corner, man. I love you guys for accepting 2 of my books in the store, so you guys can go there and just ask for a book from the author Cornell Bunting, and they'll have a book for you. If them run out, them will call me and let me know, and I'll bring more books. But yeah, you can definitely go to Cozy Corner. We have a few more bookstores. We just have to sign the paperwork with them, and my books will be in those years as well. But for right now, you guys can always go to the website cornellbunting.com. You see all the books there. You can go to EHASINC.org and you see all the online courses there. If you feel like you want to enroll in a course, enroll in a course. If you can't afford the course, send us an email. Send us an email. I will send you a code that will allow you to not pay anything for the course.
Wow. All
Yes,
right.
man. Yes, man.
Philanthropy all over.
Yeah, man.
Well, people, this is Cornell Bunting, an amazing Jamaican doing phenomenal things
Yes.
at home and abroad.
Yes.
So we have to make sure we big him up. Remember, EHASINC.org.
Org. Yeah.
.org. So EHASINC.org.
Yes.
Go check it out. The
Yes.
courses are there, the books are there, everything is there, and you can find his books on Amazon.
Yes.
On the Cornell Bunting.
Yes.
So just go and patronize this young Jamaican that is just doing so well and carrying the flag high.
Thank you.
Notice that he's been in the United States for many years and him still having wonderful accent.
Yes, man. Yes. Man.
Yeah, man. Him not let go that.
Mm.
So big up yourself, Cornell, and thanks again for sitting with us here.
It was an honor being on the show. Thank you.
Yeah, man. And as always, people, make somebody's heart smile.
Yes.
Blessings.
Thank you for checking us out on Good News Jamaica TV for content that informs, inspires, and transforms. Please like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more positive Jamaica content. Walk good,